Hello, welcome. Another beautiful day, another Twitch stream for Trophy. I'm Kyle. Got Sean here with me, and I think Ultimo is on. I'm getting some camera stuff set up right now. Yes, awesome. Yes, so today's stream, we are working with an Eternal Trophy member, Ultimo. He's a cracked gamer. I've seen so many clips of his. He's done a ton of in-depth conversations with me about rotation stuff. So it's going to be really nice to get to know him, and I'm excited for the Trophy community and then resulting content from this, showing what a wonderful mind Ultimo has for the game. He's like very, very competent and like has a very strong sense of what works in Rocket League and what doesn't, which I think is kind of rare, I would say, at least in my peer group. So today's stream is sponsored by Trophy. I know this is the official channel, but it bears repeating. This would not be possible. And a lot of the great conversations that we've had so far would not be possible without Trophy giving us the go-ahead and getting everyone on board here. Even the graphics we have, it all comes back to the great team we have. So now we can talk. Now the interview gets to begin. Ultimo, you and I we really started our like work relationship. It sounds way more serious than it is. Talking about like rotation stuff and like Rocket League positional stuff. But how did you, let's rewind a little bit to like your start with Rocket League, what brought you into the game, or we can even rewind further back than that. What games did you play early on in your gaming career?
So early on, like I just had like my PS3 and I didn't have internet, didn't know anything about online games. So all I did was just play games that had a campaign, right?
Yep.
Then eventually I like got online and played some like Black Ops 2 and BF4. Like those are the only games I played those days and enjoyed that really like a ton. Afterwards, I got a PS4 and I played a different bunch of games, and I did play Rocket League on PS4 in 2016, but that was only for like a short time. And then I stopped for a long time after I switched to PC from PS4. Then one day when I was at uni, I decided I wanted to be competitive in a game. And the game that I chose was Rocket League. And so I was basically, before I even started playing the game, all I did was just watch videos on how to play the game. So like every video at that time, I would have probably watched it. And yeah, literally. And then I randomly searched for free replay analysis, and I came across Coach Curtis, who is a RLCS coach, and at the time he was doing free replay analysis, and I jumped on that, and that's how like my coaching, like how I got to know what I know today started. And I still remember like the most thing like I say to everyone is like, I remember how my coach Curtis was surprised of how I went back post as a gold 3.
Because it's rare.
Yeah, yeah. Because I learned that just watching stuff online, and basically I went full force with like getting coached from him, and I was helping him with various stuff like GCR and like just helping him when he was doing like coaching others, just helping connecting him with other students and little things like this. And over time, for like 5 or 6 years, he's I've just been with him. I've learned everything that I learned today, and because I did have access to the like how he coaches, I took a bit of inspiration from that. and decided to do my own coaching, which is why I joined RLH. And just, as a side thing, I just wanted to, dabble in coaching a bit. And fast forward even more, RLH got in partnership with Trophy, and that's where I'm here with Trophy now. Mm-hmm.
We made it. Made it this far. Yeah. Amazing. What's you said campaign games? What were like the early games that you played? Just trying to see when time is.
I play I have a list of 100 PS3 games that I played.
Okay.
Where do you even start? Yeah,
if you can't remember, it's all good too.
Platformer games to action and adventure were my most play games. I think one of my favorite ones was Uncharted. That was one of my favorites, and another one was Infamous. That's very Infamous 1 and 2 and stuff like that. Little Big Planet was another one that was pretty fun. But yeah, there's just so many, and I enjoyed every single one back then because I just didn't have anything else to do. So yeah.
Yeah, same. I played a lot of games like StarCraft and a lot of what are those called? What is StarCraft?
Game?
Yeah, RTS. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Just maybe it's just part of the thing. I don't think I played Uncharted, but I did play Far Cry. You know what I mean? Far Cry 3.
Okay, yeah. As well, yeah.
But I feel like it's similar. It's a similar type of game. We were talking about your early gaming time. You also mentioned Coach Curtis, but can we just zoom in a little bit on what it was like when you get started? You said back post rotation, and you consumed a lot of videos. But what was the reason you started playing Rocket League in the first place?
It's just to become competitive at a game. I was always a casual gamer, and I never put a bunch of time into anything. And the only things I really played was mainly campaign things. And I decided one day, just literally out of the blue, just to be competitive in a game. And I chose Rocket League. And the reason I chose Rocket League is because it's such a unique game, and that really appealed to me. And how you basically start from scratch. Whoever who wants to play Rocket League and just to play Super Rocket Battle Powered Battle Card.
Did you play that or no?
No, I didn't.
It was before.
That existed.
Neither. Yeah. Me neither. Yeah, same. I remember actually the first time seeing Rocket League, I was like, oh, that looks like a cool game. It was in my friend's living. He had PlayStation, I think PS4. Maybe PS3. I was like, oh. But I didn't play it for 2 years.
I started for the first time years before I actually played it. It was I was over at a friend's house and they were playing it, and I was just like, oh, this looks a cool thing. And at the time, it wasn't free to play at the time or whatever. And I was like, I just had 3 kids, and I was like, I'll get to it eventually. And then it went free to play, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, I'll do this.
I'm in, baby. I remember I got a job. So I got a job as an intern at this aerospace company. And then I was able to buy a PC. And so then I was the first game that I got was Rocket League. And then I watched a Sunless Khan video where he's like, you need to practice so much time during the day. And at that time I was I was doing a lot of music, and I was like, what? I don't have time to practice music and Rocket League. Okay. So now I know you did mention Coach Curtis, and I know that was a kind of important piece of your journey, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to give a little bit more context about that? Who is Curtis? I know you kind of introduced him already, but for people who don't know who he is.
Yeah, so he is an RLCS coach who has coached a few players I know he's coached Beast Mode, and I can't remember who other people he's coached on top of my head. But yeah, he's also and he was with WCBC Women's Car Baskets. Yeah, he was involved with that as well, and he got first place on one of the tournaments. And it was also part of 1620 Kings. He was part of True Neutral.
What?
Yeah,
didn't know
he
that.
coached True Neutral for a time. That's the only reason why I have the decal on this account as well.
Bro, I love that decal. I got that. That was like the
yeah.
only one I bought that season. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, he
That's pretty
worked
sick.
for GCB or GCR, and yeah.
And so you guys, how did you meet? Yeah, you told me this already. I know, and maybe you mentioned it on stream even. But what was the meeting process? How did you because he started coaching you, right? Like pretty thoroughly.
Yeah, basically, like I just found him doing free replay reviews on his Twitch channel, and I eventually, started getting free replay analysis from that, and then just decided to support him and got a few paid coaching stuff.
Yeah.
And basically, I've just been sticking with him, and he wasn't very good with technical stuff. So basically, I started helping him out with that, and eventually just started working together on a few things here and there. Like he needed help with making training packs, I might help him, or just a video of something, or making just maybe making a message on an announcement he's making, just kind of stuff like that. And
you were getting fully integrated.
Yeah, basically, yeah, and and that's how we crumbled.
So I know with the coaches that I've interacted with, there's been a few kernels, a few nuggets that have been super impactful. What was the thing? Was there one or two things that you remember that were super impactful in what he taught you?
I think the biggest thing is take everything wider. Your approach on the ball,
Yeah.
that's one thing that's super important. I need to filter out everything because he said so much.
Yeah. That's the problem with coaching. It's there's just so much info.
That's the thing.
There are
I
one or two
think for
pieces
me-
though. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I think for me it's just don't panic, because I was a very panicky player, and I still am. So probably those two were the biggest things.
Does the panic go away ever? I don't know if it does, because I've seen, you can even see in the RLCS on certain scenarios, goal line stand, for example, you can just tell that players are feeling the pressure of the imminent goal, basically.
Yeah, it's
be
tough.
jumping it's tough.
Yeah, it's probably in kind of that heated situation where it's
Yeah.
a bit of life and death, because you have to
Yes.
do your best to win this.
Exactly.
But
And rushing to score, right? Trying to force an opportunity when obviously pros are much better at recognizing those scenarios. But for me, realizing that maybe there's more. Okay, pop off. That there's more time to to stay on the ball. You know what I mean? And to do things. That's
yeah, exactly.
I'm sure SSL, it's not as big of a deal because people are pretty. If you just consider the percentage of the player base that's playing, the competency is pretty high. So I'm sure the panic is a little less at that tier, but surely it doesn't go away forever.
Yeah, so the only way you could sort of work it out, I think the biggest way you can work it out is just by experience, because you'll know what players can do in which situation.
Yeah.
And the more you experience what is possible and what's not possible, that could reduce your panic. Because I've seen a lot of people who they're air dribbling here, and they're a lot of people will go up for balls here even if they're so slow. If you just sit here and wait until they drop, you don't have to go for that, because it's so slow, it's not threatening. And people will think, oh, this guy's flip reset, I need to go. But it's things like that. So yeah, it's just experience and knowing what is possible and what's not possible.
Sure. When it comes to that, how do you obviously you got training from Curtis, but it just comes down to like working on stuff yourself, right? He wasn't there the whole time. He wasn't there in like every free play second. So how do you go about training those kind of things? Like exposing yourself to scenarios so that you get better? I know training packs are a thing, but do you have any kind of process that you use?
So yeah, the way I always practice something is after a replay analysis, I'll basically take down maybe like 5 or 10 like bullet points on what I have to work on.
Yeah.
And I'd make a list of like I basically rank it on what's more important and what's like least important. So let's say like we're like rotating away from the ball instead of towards it, right? I would have that as my number one thing, and I'd focus on that for like 30 games. So on the side, I put like in brackets 30 games. And then if there's another point, I put that as well in brackets and like, let's say 25 games.
So you're like
just work
consciously practicing things, like your action is like a goal at each time. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just work on those two things, regardless whether I win or lose. It just literally doesn't matter. It's as long as those two things go into autopilot or somehow get ingrained in me, that's all that matters. And that's how I've always like practiced anything in the game. Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. And we can talk a little bit about your coaching experience now. Do you use a similar approach with students? What you just talked about is like a long-term type of growth, right? Where you're like, I need to spend X amount of games focusing on this one thing. And then you're checking in as you go, obviously, and seeing how the progress is coming. Is that what coaching has been like for you? Or what is the coaching process like?
Yeah, it's mainly just like getting... Like it had those points and just switch them around. Like I said, I have a set it for like a certain amount of games and move to the next one.
Yeah.
And I just look at myself afterwards and see have those things like actually happened.
Yeah.
And if they've not, then I would like look back at it. But the way I do it to me and the way I do it for others is different. If I was coaching someone, I might have maybe like 3 or like 4 points maximum, and work on that. So that's a more like short-term thing, but I try to identify the most like prevalent issues.
Yep.
And then like hopefully they work on that and fix it themselves.
Does that change with the rank that a player is? So can you load more onto a higher ranked player than a lower one? Or is it the same?
It's quite dependent on what issue or issues the player has. Yep. But generally the higher rank you go, the more like detailed of a problem I would like point out. So,
because the problems are like more specific, right? It's not like it's just a general rotation issue. It's like you need to be focusing on this when you're in this scenario. It's more like bespoke or whatever, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's more critical than like lower ranked ones.
So when did you come to Rocket League Help? That's like the step before Trophy, as far as I know you kind of detailed it already, but let's talk a little bit about what that process was like.
Rocket League Help, probably about 4 years ago. Yeah, about 4 or 3 years ago is when I came into Rocket League Help.
When was free to play? Is that 2020? Don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm also not too sure.
It's right around the time of the COVID pandemic.
Yes.
Yeah. So 2020. Yeah, 2020 probably. Yeah.
Because that's when I started playing. Is when that happened. I had just gotten like laid off because of the pandemic and had a lot of time in my hand. And I was like, all right, this seems like a good game I can play around kids.
I mean, yeah, for sure. Little did you know. It's got its own toxic community.
I know. At least it's more textual.
Yeah. It's not so bad. It's not. After doing a bunch of research into MOBAs, the Rocket League is pretty tame, to be honest. So just turn chat off. Yeah, interesting. So, what was you started in Rocket League Help? You were doing like, did you start as a coach, or did you start in a similar way to the Curtis thing, where you were just like hanging out and then became a coach over time?
Basically started as a coach from the beginning. Like when you first go into Rocket League, like when you first sign up to be a coach in Rocket League Help, you become a community coach. So you don't get paid on anything. You just like help out the community with free replay reviews, because you can get free replay reviews in RLH. So I was just helping out with that. But I pretty much knew like what like a full coach would know. So it was quite like, I was probably one of the quickest ones to get from like community coach to like a full coach.
Yeah.
And yeah, then been coaching as a like RLS coach ever since.
And then through that, you met, who of the trophy staff did you meet first? I know that was a kind of initial meeting point for a lot of the people we have on our staff.
I remember we made like a group chat of all the coaches, and that's who I met. Like I think I met like a group of people first, like you, and I know Madison was in there.
Oh, she was.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
How like who was in that group now?
Yeah, for sure. It's nice to know things haven't changed. It's basically very similar to what I've been going through the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah. Maybe that's how everything goes. And then, so now people probably don't know this, but you are one of the people that makes training packs for, what do we call them? MATs. Yeah. That's what we call them internally. I don't remember the external name, which means I'm a bad employee, but you do the training packs basically. So which ones have you focused on so far? Which one is your favorite? What do you just describe a little bit? Yeah.
Probably one of the shooting ones, because that is like that's a super important thing, because like if you can shoot with power and accuracy, that's all you need to get to SSL. Like, and it's one of the most like, important things.
You mean from every point on the field, not just like
for
the diamond level, who's like, I'm shooting midfield.
Yeah.
But we're talking from the corner, from everywhere. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
That and flicks. Like flicks was basically my my power move, and my favorite kind of flick is like flick over one, and then I like bump the second.
Oh my God, demon
kind of flick. Yeah.
That's brutal. That's like rage quit material.
Yeah.
That's not the first time I've heard that either. That just how powerful flicks can be. I think apparently Jack was, kind of basically made his career off of it early on flicks in one.
Yeah, exactly. He said that throughout like champ, he was just flicking over people.
Yeah, I need to definitely work on that a little better.
It's like the first.
I get too anxious when I get in the middle of it. I'm like, and just like, I just pop.
I mean, they are hard, but they're so powerful because you're either going to beat. I mean, it'd be nice to flick and keep control, but you can even just like flick it high and then bump, like what Ultimo said, and then like, it just sets up offense so well.
Because you don't have to do like a power flick. Like even this, you can just do that and like double jump it into the net. A lot, like it's really good to just like flick it and keep it close in like some situations, like this, and then I just tap it into the net.
Oh, yeah.
That outplays like two people. But there's also of course the power flicks or the 45s and stuff.
Nice.
I've changed my camera settings from the time that I did like practice flicks a bunch, so I'm not as good as I was.
I feel like flicks is a thing you have to practice a lot. Like not a lot like once you get it down, but you have to, the maintenance level is.
Yeah. Because what I did was whenever I'm in free play, I would just flick. Like I'd have the
You're smart.
dribbling plugin enabled, wherever that is, and then I just keep flicking, just keep flicking.
Oh, that's super smart. Yeah, I've only done like the dribble 2 overhaul, which maybe isn't good flick practice though.
No.
Yeah, I did realize that because here you need to control it in a certain like way. Like there's a thing where like you need to aim at the like left post, like the opposite post, and flick. You don't want to be going like directly into the net.
Oh, that's helpful.
Options.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things.
See, in case I didn't quite understand that, you're saying like, approach at an angle type of thing, or?
Yeah, approach an angle. So like this, you want to aim towards the like opposite post, like even the corner works. And then you just do the flick, because you need to get a direction change. That's where you get the power from.
Yeah. And did you use, like, when you do the flick, do you actually use arrow as part of that, or is it more just a directional flick?
No, I don't use arrow. It's just, yeah.
I kind of have a habit of, like, I like, got so used to trying using arrow right and arrow left for everything that I, like, use it almost too much now.
Yeah.
What do you want to walk through your flick process? You're showing us right now, but controls-wise.
Controls.
Are you on keyboard?
I am on a hybrid of keyboard and controller.
What? Wait, let's talk about that first. Like, flick is interesting, but now we got to talk.
Okay, so I'm using an analog keyboard, which is basically like, if I can find wherever that is. That was a way to show the. Oh wait, it's.
Oh, you're right.
Controller overlay. Yeah. So whenever I'm doing something, my controls are like. See how they're always like one direction, but it's on controller because you see like these are the controller controls.
Oh, you're right.
So,
what is the brand of keyboards that you're using? I know I've heard of one or two, but I'm curious what your selection is.
So I'm using the Wooting 2 HE, which is the full size analog keyboard, and I think this was like one of the first analog keyboards that came out.
There was a coach that I used to follow, Scholar, who he got one of those because he was very curious about what the process was like. So,
yeah, someone in chat was talking about the Azeron.
Is that another?
I think it's one of those. It's one of those ones that like you got basically a key for every finger or something.
Oh.
It's kind of a newer.
Oh, I've seen. Yeah. You like have a hand, like a palm rest, right? And then you can. That'd be good for World of Warcraft, to be honest.
Yeah, it looks like almost like a 3D printed kind of mechanical thing. Yeah, you can. It's got like a socket for each finger, and like you can.
Oh.
The key.
Oh.
Azeron, I'm looking it up right now. I think I've seen like a few things. Oh, this was not what I was visualizing. Joystick keyboard gaming. Interesting. Looks crazy. What the heck?
Oh, it's one of these things. Interesting.
Yes. I like the gear transition to gear talk. Okay. Now, nice, Sean. Yeah. Now, Ultimo, if you don't mind giving us a little flick lesson, we can just talk about 45s. So you're right. What you're doing is going to be slightly different, but for all the KBM players out there, I think this would still be interesting. So especially with the analog keyboard, that alone would be interesting to hear what you go through.
Yeah, it's not too much different from like the normal thing. There is a few like rules. Can I don't know if I can draw. But basically where you want the ball to be is like on the left or right side of your like front window.
Yeah.
That's kind of the ideal like place I want to be. So like around here is the ideal place. And then you like the thing I started with is just practicing this motion, just doing like, oh my gosh, like that's so weird how to like that motion.
Yeah.
It's the main thing I practice. It's so weird trying to just do that motion only.
Well, because you've integrated it now to your body, right? It's like a reflex.
Yeah. And then choose which side like you want to do. So I normally choose the right side.
Yep.
That's my like strongest side. And then just practice like getting the power. And you always want to be supersonic or near supersonic-ish when like flicking.
Why do you want to be going that fast?
It's just so you get the most like power out of it. Like you just get more like speed out of it. Because the way you want to think of flick is basically like a slingshot, right? So if so the like when the ball's like in front of you, it's falling like that, right? Like if the ball is too far front, so you want to get the ball far front, then push into it, so it's coming back into you.
Yep.
And that's when you like flick, because
when it's rolling back to the back of the car is when you want to start to actually do the flick.
Yeah, because it has momentum going back.
Yep.
But then now you're gonna like push it forward with the flick.
Yep.
So that's where you get like all of the power from.
Because it's rolling all the way across the car, right? It's like a bunch of micro touches effectively on the game engine side, but it all results in like a bunch of power at the end.
Yeah, just like a slingshot, like that.
Nice shot.
And depending on how far front or far back it is, you can either get like forward thing like that.
Yeah.
Or if it's more back, you can feel that you can get more height.
Yeah, so you'd use them in different scenarios. Like one's a shot and one might be for like a beat or longer, but it might be.
Yeah, I'll just hit backboard. Yeah.
We do have a question in chat. Well, it's not really a question, but I'm going to turn it into one. They want to get to Plat 3, and they're Plat 1 right now. They didn't say the game mode, so little streamer boy, what a name. If you say the game mode that you're interested in, but Ultimo, do you have like, I don't know how long it's been since you've coached a Plat level player, but do you have advice based on what you remember about Plat level?
I'd say the biggest thing is like this sort of does apply to all ranks, but basically just know your roles, right? In twos, like just know your roles and play your roles. And the second thing is on like defense, play defense, and on offense, play offense, right? Like what a lot of people do is if the opponents have the ball, they'll always try to challenge it like that rather than trying to like shadow and try to get the ball off opponents. Like that's like probably the biggest issue like in Rocket League at the moment. People just don't know the difference between when is the time for me to play offensively and when I play defensively. So if you can work that out, then you'd be like well on your way to whatever rank you're on.
I know from my experience with a little bit more recent in the platinum area, being kind of like high diamond at this point. Anytime that I get down to the plat, I find that the only real way to get out of plat very easily is just by focusing mostly defense. What you find is a lot of players at that level seem to be very heavily like wanting to be offensive masters. You know what I mean? But nobody wants to play defense. So if you can go in like a twos match or something, and you can just focus on making sure you're rotating back and getting on defense when the other player is not, you can really control the game from that perspective.
Yeah, because a lot of people know offense, they don't know defense.
I feel like like if you are at a very high level, it's almost all defensive minded, almost, right? Like you want to make it, you want to pass to your teammate and you want to score, but you don't want to do it in such a way as to leave your net open, basically, right? So even if you're in the opponent's third, like you want to outplay, but you don't want to just pass mid so that then the other team like clears back to whatever, to your end, which I've seen several goals going on my team because of my bad passes like that. So.
Yeah.
But I do think like this is why ones is an important game mode, is because it teaches like you're getting a lot of touches, but also it really emphasizes like you need to play in such a way as to not, even when you're on offense, not like put yourself in a bad spot, basically.
Yeah.
What about, so I think a thing that is hard to convey, especially at lower ranks, is the unpredictability of teammates. So it's really hard to read what players are going to do, right? So I think you can, let's say the person is playing perfect defense, but they have mechanics of a platinum, which means it's not consistent typically. Like there's just, you're going to get weird touches, right? And then you would have, let's say there's someone first man on the ball, you're second man. What is your advice about positioning and stuff in such a way as to like support on offense, but also like prepare for those crazy, like unpredictable types of behaviors?
So normally in solo queue, I always play it safe. So just having that mindset of playing it safe would help. Like don't do anything risky or that would put yourself out of the game.
Yeah.
And yeah, that, and just there's so many things like this, like that you could like say, but one thing that's important is like if let's say the ball, I mean this won't, like it's hard to generalize this, but if the ball is like on the right side of this, let's say a blue team, and the ball is on this side, right? You want to just stay in net until you know for sure, like your teammate has possession and everything's fine for you to move up. Yep. And you always want to be positioned in the middle here, so you can support. If there's a goal opportunity here, you'll be here to like take the shot. And if there's no opportunity, you can grab this boost pad, and then there's just boost padding. So you grab these boost pads, or you might go here and grab these boost pads. So it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it's hard to say exactly, but that's as best as I can say it.
I think it's good. I think focusing on like the boost pad pathing is pretty crucial, honestly, because it kind of guides you where you need to go on the field. Like if you think about it.
Yeah, it helps with positioning. I found that to be when you kind of go around the sort of that what it was, the outer oval, of the small pads. Like if you hang around there, it kind of keeps you in a good midfield area. You're not too far. You're always able to catch them when you need some boost, and it really does help with defense and just being all around in good positioning.
Yeah.
Yes. It does.
I think a lot of people don't pay attention to like the actual courses, because the courses themselves are actually built like in a way to like help you with a lot of different things.
Yeah. There's a few. There's like there's like this for like grabbing boost pads if you're near the net. And then there's
what do you call that one that you're doing? What do you call that? What is your name for this? Because I've heard a few different names. I know what we call it internally, but I'm curious what you mentally would refer to this as.
So Curtis has called this a diamond, and that's...
He calls this diamond?
Yeah,
See?
interestingly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I told him it's a rainbow, and then he said it's a diamond, and then I'm just like, okay.
It's a rainbow. Yeah, rainbow's what I know. That's what I've heard the most.
Yeah, I feel also like rainbow is like generally I'd probably stick with rainbow. After, like, I heard it from Trophy first, and then I just was stuck with that. But yeah.
Yeah, I've heard oval. For oval, I've heard football. like American football, and then what else is there? I know there's like diagonal ones, but I don't know if people think about those as much as like rainbow.
Or these ones,
Yeah, the diagonal ones, because they don't really even go that far. You have to like kind of turn. And then what other ones? I guess there's just like straight down the middle, but I'm not sure anyone thinks about that one really.
Yeah, and then there's this diamond as well.
Yeah.
This is like diamond. Yeah, the diagonal ones are normally what you use in threes.
Yes. Yep. Change side.
Yeah.
Do you have a preferred game mode on that? I know it's a slightly different topic, but we said threes.
Yeah, mainly twos, because everything I've like learned is in twos. I did play in a threes league where I did focus on like threes a lot, but just
It's different.
playing with 3 teammates is a bit like, I'd rather play with another teammate than having two extra teammates.
Yeah. I think probably
yeah.
I think the whole
Like,
Rocket League community agrees with you on that, by the way.
Yeah. And for me, it's even worse, right? Because I know like more than like I know exactly when a player is making a mistake. And when I say 2 people making a mistake, just
It's even worse.
yeah,
It's like a nightmare.
yeah.
Let's talk a little bit. We'll talk a little bit more about Rocket League stuff, and then we'll transition to like add trophy talk. But in terms of like strategy, we just kind of talked about position stuff. But do you have a way, like a philosophy that you approach the game with? I'm sure you do, but are you able to speak on that a little? Like, is there a general approach that you think works in terms of ways you might attack? In terms of defending, I know there's generalized rules, but I'm curious if you have your own distinct philosophy or unique ways of considering high level or meta concepts.
That's really tough to answer because
I know.
I don't know, because there's so many like it's situational. There's so many like different things to it. Could you just repeat the question again? I'll try to like wrap my brain around it.
Yeah, and I'll try and ask it better. So we have like general things that we talk about, back post rotation. They're just kind of, I don't know what you'd call them, but they're almost like laws of Rocket League. Not really, but kind of. But then you can go another level beyond that, a higher level, where you could have specific plays. Like, for example, certain teams will work on, at the highest levels, will have approaches that they generally do, and they'll have almost like plays. Like in basketball, there are plays, or like hockey, there are plays that develop. They're kind of, they're like ephemeral almost, where they're not gonna, it's like structure can appear, and then as quickly as structure appears, it can break down or disappear, right? So do you have a way that you think about Rocket League kind of beyond the general approach, things like back post rotation, and more strategic? Is there any kind of unifying thing for you?
Okay, yeah, that helps. So basically what I do is like I funnel the opponents to our corner or make them stuck to like close to the wall as possible, because the more closer to the wall they are, the less danger they are generally. So what I do is I try to, like, my general approach is just force them into our corner and get them to overcommit. And again, our corner is the safest area in the pitch. So even if it like 50s here, there'll be somebody to grab the ball, or if I can take it across the net, that's what I would do as well.
Right.
And basically just play off counterattacks, like basically just starve the opponent a boost and counterattack, bring them to our half, make them overcommit, and counterattack. That's how
I like the overcommit piece. What can you talk a little bit about for the person that's plat in our chat, or even me I'm like low champ. I'm not even really thinking about the game that way, right? Like a little bit. I mean, I would love to say that I'm extremely strategic in what I'm doing, but the truth is it's like pretty basic gameplay still. So do you have any strategies that you use for that? Or is there any like tricks that you know of that work for that? Some of the time, at least. It doesn't have to be 100%. So getting opponents to overcommit. Are there like mind games that you use? Just describe your approach with that.
Yeah, so it's basically just staying close to them, knowing hopefully there's a teammate behind you, right? So let's say teammate
Yes, hopefully.
is here or just behind. Just stay close to them, and 10 out of 10 times, maybe 9.5 out of 10 times till and this works at all ranks, just force them to give the ball away. Just staying close to them is more than enough to have them give the ball away. And if they don't, you can just stay near them and force them to the corner where they don't have any scoring opportunity. And just play off of that once you get a chance to counterattack.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I think for my just commenting on what you just said, typically players will have one or two things that they're capable of doing and that they've mentally planned out. So staying close, like what you just said, will kind of take the momentum away from them almost, where they won't know it'll short circuit the brain almost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then the converse side of that, though, is how do you, on attacking, what do you do to compensate or mitigate what I assume is the other team wants to do the same thing as what you just described, right? Where they know the corner, at your rank, they know the corner is a safe place and they want to bring it there. So
yeah. So basically anything, let's say we are orange, right? Anything in the blue field, just don't overcommit. The most you can do is single jump, but don't ever flip or try shooting something that, even if you're 90% sure that you could score, that 10% is still really important. So don't ever commit for anything unless you're 100% sure you have control or have a touch on the ball. Yeah. So,
that's great advice, to be honest. I'm not sure I'm capable of following that, but at this point in time, I would like to believe I can, but sometimes I do stuff and I'm like, what in the world was I just thinking? It's just insane.
Yeah.
That's really good. The advice you just gave is very good advice. It's simple. It's something that anyone can apply. I think so. Let's start talking about Trophy a little bit as a service. So what do you hope to accomplish with the packs that you do? Talk about the kind of advantages you see with the training that you're providing at the very least within Trophy.
So I think the biggest advantage of Trophy over non-training packs is the pro demo, because it allows you to see exactly how I do things. And especially because it's in your game itself and not a video that you're watching, it helps you to follow the line more closely. So it helps you to really kind of understand why I'm doing this, or maybe I'm doing this in a trickier way because it trains whatever mechanic that is a little better than just going directly at the net or something.
It also uses your own car too. I'm watching you're on an Octane, for instance, right? So and I tend to use a Fennec most, and when I'm able to use that Pro feature, it's taking over my car. It's using the Fennec, so you can see the rotation or the flip or whatever of the line from my car's perspective, rather than a different sort of animated perspective, which is really cool because you can kind of get a better feel. Because sometimes it's kind of hard to kind of map it in your brain if it's a different kind of car or something like that. So that Pro feature is so cool.
Yeah,
it is. I am curious, if there are things that you would think would be interesting to have from a training perspective that maybe isn't represented in any Rocket League tool right now. If you could create a perfect coaching tool, what would that look like for you, Ultimo?
Okay, so the perfect coaching tool would probably be something that he's able to look through a replay and just like identify mistakes. And the way I coach replays, I always like ask questions on, why they did this, or like what do they think they could have done better.
Yeah.
So if it can like ask those questions and then get an answer with the like coachee or student, and depending on that, if it's right or wrong, just explain the right thing to do.
Yep.
And what are the A, B, C options they have in this situation. That would probably be the most like perfect way to like coach.
Yes, you and I talked recently about something like this, actually. So
I really do think that the player potential stuff that's being worked on in the background right now that we did on the live stream, what was it, last week? I think that really sets us up for that ability to be able to like pull out, here's who you had a really good opportunity and you didn't capitalize on it, and like show that as like a replay. I really think that's what's going to get us there.
Yeah, and the conversing with the whatever is coaching, giving the coaching, and like being able to ask questions or being prompted to give a response rather than just like passively sitting there absorbing info. I mean, being active and learning is like a way better, I feel like, for stuff. So, okay, I think we're at the time now. We've been doing good. So Ultimo does have a creator code. We've been spamming it on screen, but if you like what you're hearing from Ultimo, very excellent knowledge, like even in this stream, really good insights, and you want to support him and get access to Trophy. Where is the link? I have to scroll up in chat here. I think it's just Ultimo. Yeah, here we go. Affiliate
I put it in there.
Yeah, it's just Ultimo, yeah.
Oh, you pinned Sean, you're so good. Yes. Support Ultimo. Get better at Rocket League. Oh, it's only me talking now. We're ghostwriting. Come to the website. There's we have sales going on constantly. Tell your friends about Rocket League. Tell your friends about Rocket League. Also tell your friends about Trophy. We really are trying to, that's Freudian slip. We're really trying to get the word out. We have a lot of passionate people who are very smart working on this tool, and we've put together something that is pretty good I hit my first flip reset last week directly as a result of the training, which is kind of cringe. I know I'm in like low champ flip reset, but can't get out of champ. What does that say? But still, like, the training actually does work. We're constantly releasing and developing new tools. Like, it's crazy. We've had some really exciting stuff on the machine learning side recently. I think the data science team is like zeroing in on stuff that actually is useful to people. They already have good ideas, but really it comes down to like our customers and what they want to see. And we definitely listen to those things. So we try and deliver them. So if you like what you see, try it out, folks. And we have Az as well. Az does Fiverr too. That's good. Az works for us as well. I see someone in chat mentioning him. So if you like what you see from Az, you can try it out as well. But Ultimo, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. Like, I learned a lot. I always do when I talk with you, but it's really helpful. So, do you have any final thoughts you'd like to share before we sign off here?
No, not really. Just learn as much as I can about the game and enjoy it.
Yes.
If people want to find more about you, where would they go? Rocket League Help, or what would you recommend?
Yeah, I'm there on Rocket League Help, but I think I'm more active on Air Charge RL.
The funnel to the corner, dude. I was like, that's very Air Charge flavored.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my whole like play style.
It's a good play style.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah, so that's where you like find me around.
Air Charged, everyone, a very, very worthwhile community to check out. I predict most people who are watching the stream have heard of that community, but if you haven't, I definitely am in there and I love it.
Yeah,
I was trying to
try that out. I haven't
should.
really looked at it yet.
You should. Like the content is really good, and then there's like a structured learning system as well. That's like really air charged. I will pull a link here. Why not?
Yeah, with that system, yeah. Because I also did get coached by him
Oh, you did.
at some point. Yeah, I was in one of the cohorts.
How did that go? I was curious.
It went really nice. Like it's really useful. Yeah, you get to like meet other people who are doing the same thing, and
Yeah.
it's really easy to play with someone who is playing the same mindset. And
The community side, right? That's like really big. I feel like that is one thing I would love to push more in Trophy is like actually providing some sort of community aspects. There is some internal stuff, but I don't think we are actually even thinking about that right now. Not yet, anyway. Okay, I think we're gonna call it here. Thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been really nice I always love talking about Rocket League. So thanks again, and we'll talk to you all later. Bye.